Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, coming at you with yet another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. We shall squeak our way to victory with, of course, SQUEAKER and Mecha Might, the Mecha Yordle deck. Like, basically, we're trying to play Mecha Yordles, and we're trying to capitalize on the recent buff to SQUEAKER. SQUEAKER went from a 2-mana 1/1 to a 2-mana 1/2 unit that has the augment keyword and a play effect that says discard 1 to manifest a Mecha Yordle. In case you want to see what options you have for Mecha Yordles, I clicked on the wrong one actually. You click over here to these bars right here. You go down and then you select Mecha Yordles. You can take a look at the different options that you will be manifesting. You have a total of 3 2-drops, which is really relevant because it encourages you to go for your early plays. You got some mid-game options here and then some late-game bombs in what is essentially Bandle City's own version of Targonian Invoke. A very, very fun archetype that has never really taken the lead for the region. It's always been considered as a meme, and even in Bandle City's greatest days, we haven't really seen much from Mecha Yordles. Hopefully up until now, as I have a new version of the deck that also benefits from Rumble's recent balance change that did not happen this time, but it was, like I said, recent. It was the one before or the one before that. I'm not exactly sure, but again, with the same premise as I was talking about the other card that got buffed recently the other day, essentially, yeah, with Vladimir. Rumble, the same. It happened around the Vladimir era, and we got a pretty interesting buff that allows Rumble to level up after seeing Mecha Yordle allies deal 12 or more damage, which is very relevant and encourages you to play him with Mecha Yordles because that means that you can get an easier level up for Rumble, which is really important because if you look at Rumble's stat lines and the keywords he come with, if he is granted impact, which that should be the case every time, you want to be able to discard to give him all the different keywords since it applies to all Rumbles, right? You'll be getting 6 damage through every hit that you're attacking with, which means that you need to hit twice with Rumble to level him up without any sort of external help. But now, because of Mecha Yordles allowing you to contribute to that level up requirement, you can actually bypass that by developing a lot of Mecha Yordles, dealing damage with them too, so you only need maybe even 1 hit with Rumble to level him up. And that point is, it's definitely a good payoff. I mean, a great payoff, rather, to work for. Because at that point, you are just able to constantly generate Mecha Yordles, and you have a huge threat that regains the spell shield, even if it lost it, in case you're wondering. Even if they do pop it before leveling up, once you level up, you get that spell shield back again. And that makes Rumble extremely threatening with the burst speed spell Might, which gives an ally +3 power and overwhelm this round. We have not only a full set of Might, but we've been going with a couple of copies of Elixir of Wrath alongside a full set of the Noxian Tailstones. Noxian Tailstones is actually really good in a deck like this because we can resort to Whirling Death a lot of the times, which works really well with Rumble and also our alternate champions in Draven. But then we also have access to Sharpen Resolve in case instead of a striking effect we need a bit of a buff, right? Like having access to that flexibility for just 1 more mana definitely makes it worth it, even though we don't, we have 3 options technically, but Weapons of the Lost is very unlikely for us to go for. Like, it's more than anything, we're paying 1 mana to have access to 2 different things, and that's still worth it, at least in my opinion, as we have a deck that tries to synergize with Mecha Yordles and with discard synergies as well. So when it comes to Mecha Yordles generators, we're playing a full set of Scrap Heap, we got a full set of your boy SQUEAKER, and we got a couple of copies of the Bilge Rat Rascal. The Bilge Rat Rascal. I have a hard time pronouncing that for some reason. We have that. Then we have discard fodder such as the Fallen Rider and a full set of Lost Soul. Now, Lost Soul may seem like a bit slow for this deck, especially considering that we want to be summoning other stuff that we're generating, right? But the main purpose for Lost Soul is to just get us 2 different discard fodders, right? We discard Lost Soul once, we get a Twin Blade Revenant, and a lot of times we're going to be discarding that Twin Blade Revenant as well, unless the matchup drags out and we're running out of gas and we do need the extended value, then we can develop the Twin Blade Revenant, but we're not forced to play it in a deck like this. In fact, we don't benefit as much from it as other discard decks because we're a little bit less dynamic because we don't have access to the PNZ region. I cry every time. So now what we have is, like I said, the full set of Fallen Rider, the full set of Lost Soul, but on top of that, we have a full set of Octopus that allows us to generate a chump blocker while giving us a discard fodder and not losing tempo in the process, because of the attune, he essentially comes in for free. So we have Octopus here that can enable an Octopus into turn 2 Squeakers, for example, really good. Scrap Heap into turn 2 Risen Rider is also really neat. As then we have a full set of Bandle City Mayor. This guy may seem a little bit out of place here. You know, the Mayor doesn't tend to like these sort of crazy, you know, mecha fighting events, but he's actually really into that shit. You know, low key, he goes in disguise, but he helps us play most of our mecha yordles for 1 less mana. I say most because there's an exception. Unfortunately, Bouncer and Bolt is fully Bandle City, so we do not get a discount on that. But every single other, and also Smash and Dash actually, but every single other mecha yordle here will cost 1 less mana with the Bandle City Mayor, even less so if we have another one on board. So a great unit that works really well with the likes of Rumble as well, because Rumble is multi-region, so there's even more synergy there. And I like him in the deck as well. Like with the combination of the Mayor, with the Grave Physician, and with a couple of copies of Whispered Words, plus all the generation that we're producing, or like through discard, I mean, we don't really run out of gas with this deck, which is really neat. And we're a pretty efficient mid-range discard list that is able to find the damage, especially through Might, in many different matchups, and really benefit from the spell shield from Rumble, while also getting access to just really good high-end, or just high-value rather, units in the mecha yordles, as we have the late game with a one-off of Scion, because we're discarding a lot of stuff, so Scion as a one-off can put in the work, and a one-off of motherfucking Captain Farron, because sometimes you just need that extra reach, and there ain't no finisher in Noxus like Captain Farron. He's just great, and honestly, even take him out of Noxus, he's just one of the best finishers in the game, period. He's what 8-drop should aspire to be, and that's why he takes a slot up in this list. Also, shoutouts to Shumpo, aka Shampoo, as we want to have access to that surprise rally that can be really brutal, especially with a temporary effect of a Might in the mix. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, fish, that is, sorry, mecha yordles as well, for those of you watching. That is the deck list right there. Really fun, and I'm happy I was able to showcase Squeaker. You know, I haven't really ventured into this archetype much. I mean, when Bandle City was a thing, I was kind of like the turd from the region in general, but now, you know, we're kind of hipster for playing Bandle City, and I really don't see anybody else playing Mega Yordles, so it felt very neat. So I'm gonna stop rambling though. Have a solid day. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Hope you enjoy the games. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, here you go. I simp for love, and they have the Jinx skin that I don't. This is personal now. I want to keep Rumble. I'm going to drop the Bilge Rad Rascal because we already have the Scrap Heap here, and we do want to find some discard fodder. Low. Let's pass for now since we don't really have a set target. What could I generate? Well, I could actually generate this, yeah. Let's see if we can get another axe out of Draven. Even though they could get excited him. Which would make me sad because we do want to enable the Rumble.
It's Draven time. Well, hey there, good looking. God axes need victims.
It's gonna be a tricky attack to take in. Bandle City Mayor actually works curving out into you, which is neat.
Let's go. Grab my hat. Comb my mustache.
Because my Rumble will also be cheaper. And if they attack all in, I could get another axe to have all the fodder for Rumble that I need.
Coming right up. Got an axe with your name on it.
I could take the rest of the hit. I want to hold on to you. My axes look cooler, which is very important. Crack time.
Here comes a new challenger.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
Uh-oh.
She can take it. Maybe.
I don't want to take that much damage, so I will sacrifice my Rumble.
Locked and loaded.
What if I develop the Aloof Travelers now?
Guess I'll just keep the engine running.
We're gonna do it like this.
Good. You go.
And let's see what we get.
Protocol ouch initiated.
Protocol ouch. Good. Problem is just dying to these elusive Poros into a decimate.
Targeting.
Oh yeah.
That enables that.
Online.
We made it. Yay.
But
but our stuff didn't.
Okay. All right, that aloof. No, get excited. No, get excited, baby. Come on.
Rockets primed.
Ready to blow.
Okay, so we target one of these,
Do I have to?
and this should do it. Oh god. Okay, no, that means it's over. Yes! Yeah, boy. Let's go.
Initiated.
Woo! All right. Oh man. Okay.
Rumble and Tristy win.
All right. From Smork to Croco Smork. Man, that aloof play was like the ultimate life-saving. Alright, we got a discard fodder here with Squeaker. I mean, the curve isn't as nice because they're both 2-drops, but, you know, not gonna play. That's why Scrap Heap is really important in this deck, because I really like Scrap Heap into Fallen Rider. What's not to like, right?
Don't want to die? Don't do terrible things.
I like doing terrible things, though. Leave me alone. I'm gonna take the Mecha Forcer. The Geode Mecha Forcer. And now we're gonna go Draven, because Draven will give us the discard fodder that we need.
It's Draven time.
Indeed it is. With the augment, Squeaker also becomes pretty threatening as well. So it's not like they can just block it with action.
Cool eye patch.
Did you like it? I mean, shut up and fight!
Is this worth trading into that though? Nah. I want to keep those axes. This new feature where I can see the amount of cards in hand is... like, the amount of time it's actually saved me is ridiculous. I don't think we need whispered words.
Arda's gonna make a meal of them!
Alright, goodbye, Draven. I want to play mind games with him.
In and out.
It's like, if you want to drag this, are you sure? You know? Yeah. Yeah. You sure about that? I have so many cards in hand, I didn't play anything. That means I'm up to something, doesn't it? You know that's true. Listen to your instinct. Succumb to fear. The mind games. Alright. Free Draven.
Locked and loaded. Next needs a few adjustments.
The main purpose of Twin Blade Revenant in this deck is to just have double discard fodder, because a lot of times we don't go for it. We have a lot of ways to trigger our augments here. Like, we're only set by our mana.
Looking for a hero for my hero! Defensive stance!
And now this is where Might just does wonders. Because all of a sudden, like, they're really low. All of a sudden, they're down to 6.
Working as intended.
We get another axe, which can work with Squeaky here. They're just playing that because they can. Because it's a good card. Yeah, Bird is perhaps a bit too good. Okay, they really want that level up at the beginning of their turn, I assume.
Fixing the world one scoundrel at a time.
The good news for us is we're still really healthy, so we can still take a hit. I guess a deck like this, we probably can't take 2, but we put him. Oh, that's a draw. And this spell shield makes me feel really neat. I also know this kind of deck loves to play like a lot of red negations and the likes.
Out here, you're moving or you're dead.
Good to know. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? How do I reach these kids? What is the better option here? I want to keep the spinning axe open. This is expensive, but it may be the best to go with, honestly. Like, it gives me enough to trade into that. And I can still develop you and give something else spell shield.
Guess I'll just keep the engine running.
Yeah, it's a free body. Like, now they don't have room for Merciless Hunter anymore, so... Okay, they're going for the predict, not for the +1. This might is everything. It really makes things so much easier. Even if they take away my spell shield, Geode can bring it back. Sweet. Let's see what they drag with this. Okay, they're going for damage. They are going for damage. Cannot blame them, actually. I'm giving the +1 boost to this so that even if they have something like a Shapestone, I can still kill it. Like, they need to buff it more so.
Come on, pal, I'm wasting fuel here.
Because that's the most resilient blocker they have. And now I think we just pretty much go all in with, I mean, we have Spell Shield, right? So we just go all in with the Mecha Forcer here. Because the Mecha Forcer, go Star Girl. The Mecha Forcer will, yeah, they're trying to set that up as the better blocker there. This is the way it has to go, right? Like, what could they possibly have? Like, double quicksand would be pretty brutal. But there's no playing around that. They have to declare their blocks first.
Scum.
And the might will do it. Just a little might. Oh yeah!
Hit that red line.
Affirmative. I want to see what we got.
Space magic level maximum.
Okay, a little different than fun. Nice.
Ready for round 2.
Round 3 action. Shady is our next opponent. They are playing Scouts. We got the Scrap Heap. I like the Nox and Tailstones because of the Whirling Death. Can allow us to win some exchanges. But more than anything, I like the Scrap Heap with the discard fodder immediately. 2 is even better. We got discard targets 4 days. Alright, turn 1 bird. We're definitely aiming for a 2-drop Mega Yordle here.
Alright, let's get to work.
Come on. That'll do.
It's Draven time.
Let's go, Draven.
I've come a long way from a flying stone bird.
Let's do this.
that's a bit better.
Inspiring Light is coming and it's spooky. It's maybe the turn to Whirling Death with our axes here.
I've got your back.
A little reinforcement at the seams. Steady hands.
And we go like this for a Draven level up. Alright.
Come out and play. What's my name?
Instagram mode engaged. Instagram mode dead. Our social media life was ephemeral, but glorious, as we have 3 axes now. We removed one of their units here. And now we get to play the Otterpuss while developing our board. Took a heavy hit there.
Dangerous water.
Ooh. Yikes. Well, we know what we gotta do. I mean, I'd like to prank them, honestly. See what they got left. Have that loose power.
Locked and loaded. Come on, baby. Full throttle.
Who dares swim? Shield up.
Working as intended.
The quiet of the woods, there's nothing like it.
We gotta play Twin Blade Revenant because it trays into this.
Always forward.
It's not quite enough to trade with that. What about just playing you? With you, I can trade into an extra unit.
Hold nothing back.
Come on,
Their pride will cost them.
burn, baby, burn.
Not quite there.
Good. You go.
Explosive comfort systems online.
Every work demands a piece of ourselves. My work!
Shampoo!
Rocket prime.
Ready to blow.
Your conquest ends here.
Entering sleep mode. Prolonged couch initiated.
Up and out.
A slight adjustment.
Looks like Tristy could use a good wash.
One drop, and I'll scrap you.
We got a good line though of defense here. Just thick enough here. Oh, there we go, shutting him down. Now they can trade that into that, but man, that's huge. That's huge! Rumble for the win!
Ready for round 2.
4. Alright, this is the deck that I don't know about you guys, but this is arguably the deck that I struggle with the most. Like, no matter what I play, it just feels like it's really strong. It's kind of sad how Ilaoi's Bilgewater cards ended up enhancing other shit, but I mean, that's gonna happen every time you introduce like good cards in a region. Like, you're always gonna gravitate towards like more guaranteed value, right? I mean, I like the shampoo. I feel like this card may low-key be very important, so I'm gonna keep it, even though I am sacrificing my early game. But as long as I can Drave it on 3, should be alright. Maybe not.
The party has
Alright. We need Draven though. We need to play him. I'm thinking about how Bob Mac can give me more bodies to potentially discard with Drumbo. Oh.
out.
Oh, that's a problem. That kind of sucks.
Deal me in. From all the regions, we are one.
Rumble Slug is pretty much free there, so we'll take it.
Let's turn up the heat. Working as intended.
One, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so let's swing.
My quest is dangerous, but I will see it through. The Mirai will never know fear again.
I haven't really been able to apply pressure here, and this Nami is becoming really dangerous.
Rise with the surf.
But before anything, we need to find a way to kill Twisted Fate. Before they can level him up.
Let the tide carry you.
I should make a speech. Yes, where's my speech? Shall we bully off?
Come on, baby. Hit that red line.
I'm gonna do this to give my...
Never lost a fair game. Or played one.
Base smashing levels maximum.
To work.
Oh, he likes you.
Physical discomfort systems online.
Well, I need to not die this round, which is easier said than done.
Ride the surging tide.
All or nothing.
Let the tide carry you.
I actually wanted to commit that there.
Clear on fire.
Too hot to stop.
Because I needed to clear the room.
Loving this.
Affirmative.
Before I do this. We have 11 right now. We got it again.
Rise with the surf. Ride the surging tide. Let the tide carry you. Rise with the surf. Let the tide carry you.
We can't lethal him,
Maximum.
but at the very least, we can halt them a little bit.
Follow me to victory!
We're very close, man. Very close, but not having them at one less health really sucks there. But we needed to like just we need to do that unless we just want to die
Sleep mode.
to the Burgo fish there. In my opinion, they made a mistake not blocking with Dissipate.
Surging tide.
They're drawing. They're going in. At this point, we gotta go.
Protocol out. Initiated.
Rise with the surf. Ride the surging tide.
Well, I guess we're dead.
Together! Let the tide carry you. Ride the surging tide.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Come on, I wasn't even holding the controls.
Oh, now that I said that, I actually was reminded. I don't know if you guys know, but that was crazy. I'm really good at the game. First of all, I don't know if you guys are aware, but the creator of the Yu-Gi-Oh manga passed away a few days ago. They found he was like 60. I believe he was snorkeling and he had an accident or something like that, which is incredibly sad. Like I wasn't sure if I wanted to like talk about this in my channel, because I tend to just like not talk about too much outside shit in my videos, because I just want to keep them simple, and I just want to focus on the game and stuff. But it would be inappropriate if I didn't like talk a little bit about, you know, Kazuki Takahashi, and just at least mention the news here for those of you who don't know, right? He was the creator of the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, and Yu-Gi-Oh is arguably one of the biggest reasons I'm here today. Like, I started playing card games when I was a teenager. I started off with Magic the Gathering, but I wasn't really that much into it. I didn't really like the lands, and I just wasn't as drawn into as you know, you would have thought. Like, I actually got really into card games because of Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh was like the biggest thing for me in my teenage years. Like, my entire life revolved around it. Like, I was obsessed. Like, I just absolutely loved everything, which is kind of weird because like nowadays, like looking back to like the first seasons and stuff, it's so ridiculous. But I guess the mind is different at that age, and I don't know, man. I absolutely adored it, and I remember like waiting until the cards were released in Spain, and before that I would actually like print them, you know, with like my old school printer, and would like actually tape them on top of Magic cards and would play with my friends. And yeah, like, it's just crazy how big of an impact like one person can have over others, right? And what this man created definitely not only impacted my childhood, but also like shaped up my future in a way. And you know, it just goes to show that, you know, even after we're gone, I mean, we still influence others, right? So yeah, it's very sad though that you know, because he definitely he passed away prematurely, right, with an accident. I'm not really sure about the details or what happened, you know, but apparently he was snorkeling, and it's sad because I would have liked to know more about the man, especially considering I think the creation of Yu-Gi-Oh it has a lot of interesting aspects to it. Like, for example, like the manga, right, at first was not intended to be a card game manga. It was actually like a manga. It was kind of like a bit of like a anime Saw in a way, right? Like, it was quite creepy. Like, it was about these like games that were played but with your life on the line, right? And I do believe the main character was a little bit evil, actually. Like, it was actually, there's a lot of aspects of the story that really later got blended into what Yu-Gi-Oh is now and don't really make the most sense, but that's because it wasn't originally intended for what it was. But they released when they released the card game chapter or whatever, like, they apparently received a bunch of letters from readers, like, I believe this is the Shonen Jump magazine, asking them how to play the card game. And then the editors were probably like, you know what, we probably got Pokemon 2.0 here. Let's focus on the card game, right? And just because they did that, like, I feel like it was a huge driving force for popularizing card games even further. I'm very, very convinced that there's like a huge portion of card game players who would not have really been into card games if it weren't for Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, that's quite a legacy to leave behind, and it's sad though, and you know, sometimes we don't like to talk about sad stuffs, but I guess I'm gonna end this video by, you know, just giving a massive shout out to Kazuki Takahashi for a life well lived, and you know, for definitely leaving your footprint on the world, and for inspiring and affecting our lives, those of us who were absorbed into the madness you created. And yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave the video at. You know, not an usual outro, but I felt like yeah, I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, rest in peace, Kazuki and Takahashi. I'm very bad with Japanese names. I don't know if it's Kazuki or Kazushi. I don't want to butcher it. I'm pretty sure it's Kazuki. Yeah, it's Kazuki, not Kazushi. Yeah, just wanted to make sure I didn't. I'm all about butchering names, and this is one that I could not afford to butcher. So, yeah. Love you guys. Hope you enjoy the games. Leave a like for Squeaker. Hope you had a lot of fun with this deck, man. It put in the work, and it was a great time. So hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did, and we'll be back at it tomorrow with something else. As usual, let me know in the comments down below what decks you want me to build as we're getting ready for the new expansion. And yeah, I love ya. Have a soul day. I'll see you tomorrow.